Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Wednesday, September 27th. We're coming at you a little early this week. Got some stuff we got to take care of. So getting some picks early. You know what that means? That means early opportunity to jump on these lines. So anyone listening, get these in before the weekend because we can almost personally guarantee that every single one of these will change in some way come the weekend. So without further ado, Sean, Max, we're back as we're always back. How's your weekend, guys?
Um, betting wise, I actually didn't do too terrible, but for my fucking teams, it was atrocious. Notre Dame, we might get into. Everyone knows what already happened there. And the Bears, just poverty. At this point, I don't know. Like, I got the Blackhawks and stuff, but like, I don't know if I can really trust any Chicago team right now. Like, at this point, we're in just like a fucking crazy state. Shit, my bad. Just kidding. I got the fucking Cubbies, baby. Cubbies
Let's
are in.
go.
They are so close, dude. They got a fucking hard series ahead against the Braves, but huge sweep against the Rockies in this previous one. Super ecstatic, dude. We might just squeeze in right here, and it's gonna be hype. It's all about the Cubbies right now. Fuck everyone else.
The good news, Max, is though you're playing the Braves and I think Brewers, both teams have already clinched in. I mean, there's a chance they don't throw their top guys as they're just looking to keep everyone healthy before the playoffs.
Max
Exactly, dude.
Mysterio. Max Mysterio over here with the good luck.
It's
Yeah.
got
In
my cup.
case anyone's listening right now, yeah, Max has got the Rey Mysterio Cubs wrestler mask on right now. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
So
we'll
all
take
in from TBS right now, too, by the way.
so we might even get some live reactions, which would be good. I went Cubs plus 1.5 and Steele to get like 4 strikeouts for a little prop there. So we'll see how it lands. But
Steele's always his over strikeouts are pretty good.
yep, right. And I even teased that down. I think it was like 5.5 or 6 or something like that. And I was like, just give me 4 and the plus 1.5, make it easy. I haven't I feel like I've been so heavy in the NFL, college football that I was like, all right, let's just not go crazy on baseball. I mean, I got a $20 free bet that's to win like $5,000 today, but I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't have a free bet that's to do that? So I do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I put a
Sean,
free bet on the Orioles to win the World Series.
ooh, that is a nice free bet.
Like that a lot.
I wonder what'd you get it at?
Plus 700.
Nice. Love that. Love a good futures free bet because
Yeah.
it's one that you
We,
just you,
it'll be fun. Can't wait to root on the O's.
fuck yeah. Well, and it's one of those ones where it's like, all right, you probably lose that free bet anyways because you're throwing it on some random shit. But like the fact that you have a future and you're just like, oh, sweet.
Right? It like I can hold on to this for a little while, or I could have just put it on some football bet and it's gone in this weekend.
Yep, yep. Or on Thursday with the Packers Lions. So we'll see how that goes. We'll get into that, but yeah, it should be interesting. Sean, how was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was good. I didn't have a dog in the not that any of the ones I cared about really playing college football on Saturday. So as like a neutral fan, that was one of the more fun Saturday slates I feel like we've seen in quite some time. Every hour had a really fun game, especially games to bet on. I knew it was going to be a fun betting day with right in the first 12 o'clock hour. I had Cincinnati 14.5 and then under 55.5 and then not parlay, just single in the Florida State Clemson game, and each came within like the 0.5 to win the bet there. So it was like this is gonna be a good day. But no, man, it was fun. Kind of fun watching NFL Sunday there, and then Sunday night offense got going a little bit for the Steelers. Certainly a lot of room to go there, but you play good defense that travels and you are what your record are. They're 2-1, and I guess technically atop the AFC North. So, yeah, man. Good
It's
stuff.
crazy because after watching the Browns just absolutely demolish the Titans, I was like, oh shit, the Browns are 3-0. And then I go to look and I'm like, oh shit, they literally won a game last week against the Steelers where Pickett in the offense didn't even get within the 30. Like that game, I had just like written that off.
Yeah, they
The way the
right.
offense
They're going to be
was, I
kicking
was like,
themselves that they lost that game if but yeah, their defense is off to like a historic start. I
Miles
think
Garrett.
yeah, yeah, it's
Dude, he's a beast.
Yeah.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's
Fucking TJ Watt, 6 sacks in the first 3 games here. He's
I
gonna
know.
try to go break his own 22 and a half sack record. But no,
This
I know
is
Bob Garrett's is good as well.
this could be one of those years where it's like who's gonna like it could be a really good
They each could.
competitive race for the sack winner or sack
Yeah.
title leader for the year. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, right. It's so Watt at 6, Daniil Hunter 5, Miles Garrett 4.5. Um, it'll be fun.
No, no. Well, should we just rip the band-aid off, Max? Should we just rip off the worst part of the whole weekend? Absolute heartbreak. 17-14 loss. Notre Dame lost to Ohio State at home. I said this multiple times on Saturday night. I didn't get to the same exact point. I think I've matured a little bit since I was 11. But it felt very, very reminiscent of the 2005 Notre Dame USC game. Those who know the game know it as the Bush Push, and couldn't help but feel goddamn similar way they drove down. We thought we had the game wrapped up. Defense couldn't even contain shit. All of a sudden, we're losing with the literal last play of the game at like the 1 or 2 yard line to a bitter rival. I would say USC more than Ohio State, but just given the nature of everything that went on before the game and just kind of all the noise with game day and everything, it was one of those where I I mean, if I was going to cry about a college football game at age 29, it was going to be that game. I don't know whether there was tears or not. It's hard to put the pieces together once that game ended, but
They
one of
were
the
too drunk to cry.
yeah. I was just silent. I was like mute for like
Yeah.
2 years. So, yeah, that's my take, Max. We were together, but what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Hell of a fucking game. I mean, dude, that game had us on our toes the whole fucking time. So it was a fantastic game.
Yep.
And you know, it comes to a point where you kind of just almost expect these kind of losses as a Notre Dame fan. So I brushed it off within 12 hours. I woke up, I was like, that fucking sucks, but whatever.
Notre Dame football.
If we
It's
went
never
out.
happened.
Now I got the win out on my eyes, so or on my mind. It sucks. It could have definitely would have helped to have that 11th man on that right side if you're on the defense, right where they ran it to. So whatever is what it is.
Yeah, I had in our group text, Sean texted and he said, Sam, I want a real raw comment. And I feel like I don't think he knew what I was gonna say. I don't know how real and raw it was. It was very real and raw, and I'm embarrassed to even have any hope in this institution, essentially, and that I don't know why I even get myself hyped up for these big games. And group chat got pretty sad pretty fast, but it was genuinely what I felt like. I was genuinely about to write off Notre Dame football for the rest of my life. I'm so tired of watching them get their ass kicked. And this game, they didn't get their ass kicked, but I'm tired of watching them lose in games like this against top talent. I mean, when the fuck are we going to get over the hump? So, yeah, I could just keep running, but Sean,
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State will, likely be a top 4 team for most this year unless they stumble against Michigan and Penn State. And frankly, you'll probably end up winning that just for you to somehow try to sneak back in. But with games against USC still on the on the calendar, there was still it's not even October yet. Yeah, it would suck, but it's the old adage of kind of just what have you done for me lately? You guys were on the table. This loss is a lot better that it happened week 3 or week 4 rather than later in the year. So not having a conference to win could come back to bite you in the ass a little bit, but we'll see. Long year. I mean, it was close. I mean, they literally won at the buzzer there. It's as close as game you can get. I didn't come away thinking, yeah, I know where you're coming from, but I think those teams are really even, if you play that game 10 times. It was surprising how much of a defensive fight that it was.
Yeah, did not expect a 17-14 game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was tough. Yeah, just a couple miscues on defense and just some piss poor penalties, things like that. But yeah, it's one of those things where still can beat Ohio State, ruin that, or not Ohio State, can still beat Clemson. Maybe Clemson goes and ruins the ACC and just blows that whole thing up. Florida State all of a sudden gets beat. They're a one-loss team. They're split with Clemson in the ACC. And then to your point, they go beat USC. They go make that happen. And, head-to-head matchup helps. Yeah, they might win the Pac-12, but I mean, Oregon could potentially drop one and make that ugly. So, I mean, at this point, Notre Dame wins out, and we're hoping for chaos. So,
the Duke game will be an interesting one this week.
Yep, we will be getting into that here in a second. That was,
real quick, right before we move off, I'm not going to add any more to it, but Ryan Day is such a dipshit.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw your text.
That shit is so funny.
What a dipshit that guy is.
I mean, dude, Lou Holtz has like dementia. He's like 80 some years old. Like, what are you doing? Like,
in the words of Ryan Peavy, no one more in the history of life has woke up on third and thought they hit a triple than Ryan Day.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. Yep, for sure. I know. I kept watching that and I was just like, dude, what are we doing here? So, Lou Holtz is like, he's like, where's Lou Holtz at? It's like, Lou Holtz is in fucking bed.
Bed, dude.
Lou
Holtz TiVo'd the second half. He's going to watch this tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Yep. And I tell you what, I bet you Lou Holtz, whatever exercise he does, I bet you that was one of the best workouts he's ever had in his life that next morning, because he probably saw that after he saw what Ryan Day was saying. And I bet that motherfucker was just pissed. So he got some extra pumps in. Good for Lou.
I saw his foundation on Sunday tweeted like just living rent free or something. I don't know. It was something funny.
Well, and one last thing was shout out the Notre Dame fan base for game day. That was a mob. That was an insane,
one of the biggest game day crowds I've ever seen.
Yep. So good to see that. And they showed out. I mean, the whole game they were there. So yeah, we'll move on. But yeah, tough loss. But yeah, cannot be too down the dumps because you got Duke coming up here getting 5.5 points. So yeah, gotta keep the momentum going. And Sam Hartman does not like Duke. He's played well against Duke, so that'll be a good game for him. So tickets are like $175. I was going to go down from Richmond, but don't think I'm going to.
Well, the problem is there's only if even 40,000 seats in that stadium, so you guys probably bought them all.
Yep, exactly. And they probably bought them before the Ohio State game too. So, but yeah, so that's about it. Any other takeaways you guys have from the weekend before we give our picks for this upcoming week?
No, shout out Mountaineers. They look good.
Yeah, worth a shout out. Just outright winner. Fuck the points. Take them. I don't need them.
Exactly.
So, I like it. So we got some momentum. Let's make it happen. We've got college football week 5, NFL week 3, and as we do, you know what? Let me do the silver lining as we transition into our picks this week. The boys went 8-1 on college football picks. So if anyone was listening and tailed our picks,
and gals. Oh wait, no, she didn't get in. Never mind. Sorry.
Huh?
I thought Emma was in there.
Oh yeah, nope. I don't think she got those in.
I forgot. Yeah.
NFL, but yeah, not the college. But yeah, we went 8-1. The only one we missed, and it was Max had the money line on Notre Dame, and I mean that was. I respect it though. You put your team on the line there, and
you mean we had it.
We sacrificed Notre Dame's money line to hit every other bet. So sometimes you have those weekends where maybe financially you're better off, team wise, maybe not. So one of those weekends, one of those Saturdays. However, I don't know about y'all. I blew it all on Sunday, so not a good week. We'll get into the NFL piece, but let's start with Max on the college football pick one. I think we need to build this. We need to build this back up after the weekend. So let's do it.
Yeah. This is a kind of subpar transition because I just shouted them out. I mean, TCU is not great, and plus 12 for Dub V.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it. We have looked solid. The defense has been good, holding people to low scores. Nico, who's in now because Garrett is out, quarterback, has been very solid and stepping up. And of course, CJ Donaldson is gonna just rush all over anyone.
Yep.
So absolutely love that plus 12.
Plus 12. That is. I wrote that down as well. I was like, damn. I just wrote 12 with a question mark.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, like if you get like 9.5, you're like, well, I don't know. Because it's at Texas Christian. So
Yeah. Well, it's good because you get the 10 and then, you got some bullshit 2-point conversion or something like that you got to figure out. Or
exactly.
as we saw over the weekend, a lot of missed college kickers, a lot of missed field goals. So yeah, I love that pick. I will be playing that. I don't know, still deciding on my third pick, so I might be tailing that, but I will be tailing that in the sports book. So Sean, number 2.
Yes, sir. Give me to the land of Buffalo Trace. I'm going down to Lexington, a battle of 2 running backs that will probably be playing on Sundays, little ETN, and look out for this guy, Ray Davis, the running back on Kentucky, an absolute dog. Kentucky team's quietly 4-0. Like statistically, they're like the third, the most like efficient offense here. Florida's kind of, got right a little bit since the Utah game, but, Kentucky just, they're getting up for this game. It's going to mean a lot more to them than to Florida here. Give me the Wildcats -1.5 at home early, noon kickoff might catch Florida a little bit sleepy here. I think Kentucky actually gets out to a big start and then just holds on. But essentially, if you could take the money line there, if you're a little worried, but give me the I think it's UK -1.5 at this point.
Max, did you also have this bet down? Because I did.
Huh?
Did you write this down? I was gonna say, is this a squad ride? Because that was number 1 on the list. Sean, I'm with you.
That's the number 1 pick. Let's go.
It was one of those ones where I was like, I don't care if anyone has it. I'm playing it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And also after last week, after Matt, my number 1 thing I'd written down was Dolphins -6.5. Max took. Okay, I'll do another one then. Oh no, if you love it, I'll stick with it. Which, by the way, good luck on that, Max.
Yeah, that was. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So
they
was it -3? Was it 3? Was the last time you checked for Kentucky?
No, -1.5.
Oh, -1.5.
-1.5.
Bro.
I mean, you can take money line at -120 technically. I mean, I think that's in our parameters we've set.
No, dude. When I did this probably at like 3:00 today, and it was 3. So
it must have been big money that came in on Florida between them and
fucking right.
I'm sure just like you, Max. I'm seeing -1.5 at even 110 on DraftKings.
Yeah,
Wow.
plus 100 for Florida.
Wow. Okay, that's even. Yeah. Yep. I just refreshed that. Wow. Okay. I fucking love that. Oh my God. That is huge. Yeah, Devin Leary for Kentucky looking solid so far. Like I said, we'll do this next pod. We're gonna do some kind of transfer QB guess where the 5 schools he went to before. And I will bring one to you guys each week going forward. So I'll make it.
Love that.
Yeah, Devin Leary from
NC State.
Love it.
Yeah.
So yep, I'll go with that. Since Sean kind of took the shine, we're gonna do a little snake drafty on this. And I'm actually going to use that NC State here. I know it is a Friday game, so gotta be aware of that. I'm going NC State, Louisville under 55.5 on Friday night. That's my pick number 2. I know Louisville gives up points. NC State's defense is really solid. I think it's still going to be a good game, but 55 is a lot, and I don't even think that NC State's even had a game that's gone over 55 yet so
there.
far. So we'll
Love that. Love that. Also, if you're in a state where you can do props, the Louisville running back, Jawar Jordan, has had 6 touchdowns in 4 games. He's like all of their offense. You know, it's probably worth taking a grab at.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I mean, that would be a complete game changer in Virginia. Get on it. Get on it, political people. But yeah, no, I love that. We'll see where that goes. I don't like taking a Friday pick, but we can make a profit before Saturday morning and parlay the profits onto Kentucky. Be a real shame.
Get some footy in there as well.
Oh yeah. I do want to look at that slate in a little bit because you boys up the Villa, big win against. It's like the one year to like beat Chelsea where it doesn't matter. We'll talk about it later, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
You still beat Chelsea.
Yep, exactly.
Team with all the money.
All
right. Are we going back in the snake?
Yep, your turn.
All right.
Yeah.
So, question for you guys: like, who do you think is the best team in the country? I'm just generally asking, not like doing like a bit.
I was expecting a bit. You go, Sam.
Max, I do usually start with a little bit before I do my pick. So
I like
who do you think is the best team in the country?
Great question. I don't think it's Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those where they could just quietly fuck people up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oregon might be the best team.
Yeah, maybe Oregon, maybe Texas. Honestly, like if it's like who's been playing well.
Yep. Yeah.
Texas or Michigan, and dude, Michigan ended up trampling Rutgers.
Yeah, right. It's like if you guys played right now, Michigan. So Georgia's at some point got to wake up here. I think they're yes, they're going to be ranked number 1 just because of what they do, but we all know they're not playing like the best team in the country right now. Yep. They're go on the road against Auburn. I think they would like to kick the shit out of them and get right. Now, I'm worried about what the end of that game looks like in kind of garbage time. They're on the road. It's 14.5. Am I good to take what I want to take here is Georgia minus 7.5 first half. I think they get out and they just smother them with a nice, 17-0, 14-0 halftime. What happens at the end of the game, I don't want to play that, but I want to play UGA minus 7.5 first half because I don't think I'm going to get, that low for the rest of the year. I think they start to get it going a little bit.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that
was time for them to, look like a number 1 team in the country.
Yeah. What are those odds sitting at?
So that was the even. It's
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I got you. It was that's minus 108.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
In Auburn, they're 3-1, but when you dig into it, barely won against Cal. Cal's got their butt whipped. They got their ass kicked by Texas A&M last week. I don't think they're
as good as
the record says.
Yeah, I had,
and I just have this like weird, like I just always remember Georgia kicking the shit out of Auburn, like in prior years. Not that it has anything to do with this year, but sometimes it does.
I mean, that's SEC East, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's a meaningful game.
I mean, yeah, A&M beat Auburn by 17. Auburn was only able to get 10 points last week, so yeah. I like that a lot. I like that. And what's his name? Carson Beck is the QB for Georgia. He's got to he's got to put that stamp game. Yeah. Hey, I'm fucking here. So at Auburn too would be a real good like momentum. Hey, we're gonna kick the shit out of Auburn at Auburn. Not an easy place to play, very easy trap game. So I like that a lot.
Definitely.
All right, let's see. Max, you're up.
All right. Sean, I was hoping you would take them within the first 2 picks, but that's okay. I will take them. And maybe you don't want to because of it's a little scary spread.
No, I won't have it in my 3 picks, but I'm absolutely taking it.
Okay. Yeah, Beavs after dark, my man. I mean, -3.5. Yes, it's 10th ranked Utah. But I don't really give a shit. I think that's an easy dub. Easy dub.
I mean, if anyone I don't know how much you guys caught just because it was running simultaneous as a Notre Dame game. Washington State could not have played any better. They would have beat almost any team in the country the way they played. Now they're a really good team, and that was awesome of Oregon State to fight back and actually kind of make it a little bit there at the end. But Max,
Yeah.
I love it. I love that we get the Beavs after a loss here at home. Utah, like, is Cam Rising even still playing? They looked UCLA looked like the worst team ever last week, and they still only managed to get like 14, 17 points on them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And we get that
I
on a Friday
love that
too.
pick, Max.
That's
Love
a
that pick.
money Friday night game. Like that is a
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, sweet. What do we got on Friday?
That's
Okay.
that's the like gummy game
Oh yeah.
Saturday morning.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Pack it in. I'm gonna get some takeout, order some good food on Friday, get off order, a couple bevies, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I like that a lot. What do you guys think? I don't know if this is a play, so I don't want to do, but I'm looking at the over under 44.5. I know Utah's defense is pretty solid, but I went over 57.5, and granted Washington
I mean,
State's
you could go back to back on Oregon State game overs.
I mean, honestly, I will probably play that. I will probably do realistically a line over parlay. So I'll have to take a look at what that is.
And
But
over
yeah,
under 44.5.
yeah, I thought that was a little low. I could see like 48.
If this was Oregon State at Utah, I think that makes a little bit more sense.
Agreed.
But
Agreed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of monitor that line. If you really love it, hammer that now, because I can only imagine that that's going to keep going up.
That's only going to go up.
Yep. Love it. All right, Max, what is pick number 3?
Oh, you know what? You almost caught on earlier when we were going through pick 1. I wasn't. It is not, in fact, a squad ride, but it's a squad battle. I'm going Florida. I don't have to take money line, but I'd rather just take plus 100 Florida. I can take their plus 1.5 if we want. If that's what we got to do. But either way,
it's however
I'm
you
taking-
want, man. However you want it. If you want the money line, you take the money line. If you want the points, then take the point or 1.5.
I guess since it's an underdog, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, give me that plus 100 money line.
All right,
Yeah, 2 words. Trevor Etienne.
I like it. Can I ask a dumb question, or is it who I think it is? Is that little brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. I don't know anyone else named Etienne that plays football. So
Max was sitting there doing the Arthur with his fist while Sam and I were talking Kentucky earlier.
yeah. I know. I even asked him. I said, "Did you ride that?" He didn't want to. He wanted to save it for last.
He did. He didn't want to play his cards.
I like it. I mean, dude, I
Good
don't.
stuff.
It's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a sexy game.
It'll be
So
great.
it's one of those.
We can't go 9-0. Well, technically,
Oh, no.
no, we could.
Plus.
No, because you did money.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, yeah, either way we couldn't. Yeah.
That's okay.
No, we would need it the other way. We would need a Kentucky plus 1.5.
There's a chance we go 8-1 again, though.
There's a chance.
There is a chance. I like it. Sean, where are we going for picking?
Oh, last one. I mean, they didn't fail me last week. I'm going to probably keep taking it until the line gets ridiculous. Give me the Washington Huskies -18 against Arizona. We talked about Kentucky having a very efficient offense. This is by far and away the most efficient offense in college football. I think they would score 24 points on an NFL against an NFL defense. It's bonkers. Penix is now the actual odds-on favorite ahead of Caleb Williams.
I was going to say
3 wide receivers that will likely play on Sundays. We did the whole song and dance last week. Not much more to say this week. Arizona's been playing all right, but sorry, guys, you have to play the Huskies this week. Yeah, they're going to win by
Wow.
3 touchdowns.
That is beautiful. I love that. I'm definitely taking that. I don't know. I don't think I scrolled far enough down to see that.
It's another late 10 p.m. one.
I had that one starred because I was gonna ask because I know you've been on Arizona once or twice already.
I have.
And
Yeah, I'm
I was
actually.
interested to get your thoughts, but I kind of got my answer. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
they luckily that won when, like, I know we talked about in the chat, they won, but then they kind of let's see, they definitely didn't cover against Stanford because they only won by 1.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's
they
see.
have a brutal stretch. Yeah, the Pac-12 is good. They for Arizona
Shame you're
plays
going
first
away.
Washington, at USC, at Washington State, home against Oregon State, home against UCLA, on the road against Colorado, home against Utah, and then end of the year against Arizona State. Finally a breather.
Yep. Yep. Shit. It's a sneaky good conference, and I was kind of torn. I really wanted to go Oregon minus 27. I think it's just like a weird when we're looking at our picks, it's just like a weird number, and it's not, maybe week one, that's fine. But I mean shit, when I'm looking at that Washington one, it makes me think, okay, well shit, I like Washington covering 18. Oregon dropped goddamn, I don't even know how many points on
And
Colorado, but that was just
and
bad. So
Arizona is better than Stanford, as we know.
yep, yep, exactly. So that being said, I am not going to go that route. I also wanted to go, and I'm really torn, but I'm not going to do it just because there's a lot going on in this game. But Michigan, Nebraska under 40 is also one that I will play. Not one of my 3. That was like my on the cuff, thing. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I think the thing that concerns me the most, and the reason why I'm not going Michigan, Nebraska under 40 is that I could easily see Michigan winning like 31, and I could see Nebraska getting like 1 touchdown. Like, so 31-10, like that doesn't seem like a super tough thing to do. And so the way that Michigan's been, they've literally scored, I think, 30 points almost every game. And I feel like Nebraska can score 10. Um, yeah. And so I'm gonna stay away from that. So where I'm going, 6 p.m. SEC matchup. I am going with the team who needs a bounce back after getting beat by 14 at Bama last week. I think LSU in a game like this, I'm just really tired of LSU, and maybe it's just a spite pick after what happened to Notre Dame. But give me Ole Miss plus 2.5. I after Max went Florida money line, I'm a little hesitant. I considering going Ole Miss. Maybe I'll see how the week goes, but I'm also in the camp that I could see it's a 2.5 point spread. I could see Ole Miss becoming close to, if not favorites by Saturday, given that they're home, things like that. So I feel kind of weird not taking the 2.5, but at the same time, just out of principle, I might have to take the money line. Fuck it, I'll do the money line. Ole Miss money line. Yeah, I like Jackson Dart. I mean, they lost by 14 to Bama. They didn't look great, but at the same time, it's Bama, and I feel like Saban is just,
At Bama.
yep, at Bama. Bama just lost to Texas. So it was, or no, 2 games ago, lost to Texas, had a shit stinker against USF with Buckner. You knew they were going to come out firing. And so I feel like it's the exact same thing, but from an Ole Miss perspective.
Yep.
And I don't know, like LSU's solid. To be honest with you, like since that second half of the FSU game, every game that I've watched from them, like, yeah, they beat the shit out of Mississippi State. Mississippi State is not good this year.
Yeah. And
Grambling,
Arkansas kind of depleted, and they barely beat them.
exactly. So I mean, I think honestly, I think this game gets close. Like it might be. I mean, thankfully, it's not in our NFL perspective where we're doing dogs and stuff like that, because that would be a dog lock. But I feel like by the time people see this, it might already be pretty close to even. So long-winded answer, Ole Miss money line at home. Jackson Dart, they're gonna probably wear those sexy ass powder blue and red jerseys, and we're gonna be texting about it come Saturday night. So give me that as pick numero 3. I know within my answer just now, I gave a couple honorable mentions. Anything else that you guys want to mention that didn't make the top three, but you will be playing on Saturday?
I also I had, kind of my suggestions. Ole Miss as well. There, I think the line is on the wrong team there. I know they got a lot. I think Kansas. I know it's at Texas. They've been playing really well, but Big 12 game, Kansas 16.5-point dog seems a little disrespectful. We're recording this, again right now, Tuesday night. I imagine that probably shrinks up a little bit. I might be taking that now before it gets more to like 14.5 by game time, I think.
Yep. I love that. Max, what about you?
Honestly, not so much. Washington is probably one that I'll just throw in there as well. So I like that for sure. I don't know.
What about you, sir?
Great. So
The only other one I haven't mentioned, and it's such an ugly, obscure game, but just based on what I've seen this year so far, Minnesota, Louisiana Lafayette, under 48. I feel like, I mean, when I think of Minnesota, I just think of the fucking what was it, 15-12 game against Nebraska first week of the season. Like that's all I can think about. And so, I don't expect Minnesota to score a ton of points. Their defense is like sneaky underrated. I'm not gonna sit here and say they're like the best defense in the Big Ten or anything, but if they're not playing a elite Big Ten offense, I think that's an opportunity for the under. I don't think they can score more than 24 points. So if they're gonna beat Louisiana Lafayette, they're not scoring 24. So it's just kind of looking at it. It's one of those, it was like 48, and then it was like Minnesota like minus 12 or something. And so I was trying to do the math, and I was like, math ain't math, and I just feel like it's an under game. So that's the only other one I had.
I hear you. I'll to just add on to an under. I think Clemson, Syracuse.
So
I think that game is less points than there was in Clemson, Florida State, and that over under is 53. So I'll probably be playing that under.
Ooh, and I want to give you both props. Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Max.
no, I was just saying that's a good one.
Yep. I'll give you both quick props on Penn State last weekend. Absolutely smoked them. So opposite side of Penn State, Iowa is minus 12.5 against Michigan State. Michigan State got the shit beat out of them. Iowa got the shit beat out of them. Is 12.5 too much in a game like that? I mean, we talk about the math ain't mathing. It's over under 36.5, and it's a 12.5 point spread on Iowa. I don't know if Michigan State is just really bad or if Iowa is just for some reason overrated still.
Well, they just fired Tucker, right? I saw something.
Yeah.
Trying. He's not been coaching the last few weeks, so it was getting towards fade Michigan State every game territory, but now it's like the Spider-Man meme, and they're playing a team that's also got shit for brains.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So are you guys just staying away altogether, seeing what it checks out, or
honestly, like if I've won some like leading up to that, I might play the under for fun, but
yeah,
I won't have like a pick probably earlier that day.
Fair.
definitely gonna be 6-3.
Max, I don't hate I know it's at TC, but I don't hate that plus 12 for West Virginia.
Thank you. Yeah,
I had to rep someone that won this weekend.
I'm repping Billy Strings, so
that's cool too. He's always a winner. He's a winner. Sean's got the Steelers. He's got a winner.
Steelers.
Everyone's got a winner here. I like it. All right, sweet. Shall
JMU
we get
one? Come on.
Huh?
The
JMU.
Yeah. I gotta find some JMU clothes somewhere in the closet. There's somewhere there. I got a purple polo or two. Yeah.
There you go.
We try and do casual podcasts, so don't want to get my hoity-toity shit up here. All right, shit. Shall we get to the NFL?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we kind of touched on Steelers a little bit. I do want to give my boy Jordan Love some props. I'm not going to talk too much because honestly, it was a very ugly game for whatever 45 minutes out of 60. We looked like shit. Defense was solid. And to be honest with like, I feel like it's one of those things where I can be happy about the win, but at the end of the day, it's like Jameis Winston played the second half essentially. And the second he went in, the entire game and the momentum and everything shifted. You could feel it. And it was one of those things where it was like, all right, I mean, if we can stop Jameis, 4-5 times in the second half, all we have to do is score 3 and we're up. And I was screaming at the TV when Matt LaFleur decided to go for 2 after the first touchdown. And I was fucking livid. I was like, what the hell are we doing? We don't get this. We're not going to win the game. We're going to have to go for 2 if we score another touchdown. And so I'm screaming at the TV. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm tired of these coaches just fucking up the math. I don't know what's going on. And luckily enough, the whole weekend came full circle because Blake Group from Notre Dame, who was the kicker for New Orleans, missed the field goal. And so at least I didn't get my heart ripped out twice. So quite a roller coaster for your boy. And I love what Green Bay is doing. Like, I love the fight. It's weird. I can like sense the backing of Jordan Love that the rest of the team has. Like, there was never like there might have been doubt on our end watching the game, but when you watched it, you were like, okay, like they're still rallying. Like, Love is still moving the ball around, and I'm falling in love with this guy. Like, I'm not head over heels yet, but I'm loving on the dude, and I think it's awesome. So I don't know if I'm just getting too excited. It's maybe a little overreaction. Schedule's been pretty easy so far if we're looking at just the slate. Luckily, Green Bay and all the other NFC North teams have an easier schedule this year based on the divisions and everything they're playing. So it is a good year for Love to develop. And no, you know what? Fuck this. No Aaron Jones, no Christian Watson, no David Bakhtiari, no Jair Alexander. We're talking about our 3 best offensive weapons, and we're talking about our best defensive player. Come back from 17 down. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. Like, let's go. Like, that is seriously who does that? Who does that? I mean, we're talking the 3 best players on offense, best player on defense. Rashawn Gary, he just got signed in the offseason on his extension. He is worth every goddamn penny. And I mean, I don't want to say it, but like, if he didn't throw Derek Carr down the way he did, wasn't an illegal tackle by any means. But if he didn't throw him down the way he did, game probably wouldn't have gone the way it did. Still ended up with 3 sacks. Second on the Sunday behind fucking psycho man Myles Garrett. But yeah, defense looks solid. Came up when they need to. I thought the read option on the Love Dillon play to kind of go ahead was a great call. I thought they were going to do it on 3rd down, but I could not be happier as a Packers fan because I feel like I intentionally buried my expectations as if I was like the road runner or some shit like that, putting my head way under and just saying 7 wins is good. We're looking at the way the standings are going. We're talking potential division winner the way this bullshit is going in a big game on Thursday against the Lions. So take a breath. What do you guys have to say?
I mean, you have a 5th round wide receiver looking like a stud right now. Wicks. Yeah, man. I caught some of the stuff like I think it was Jenkins, who I don't even think was playing. Like some of their comments like after the game, like they're fully into Love and they're super pumped for the guy. Doesn't seem very
Elton
fake.
Jenkins was the other one. Yeah. I think he played either.
Exactly. Like his comment, like they seem to like the guy a lot. So that's good stuff, man.
I just don't know if I should buy the jersey yet or if that's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
But
I liked that the first touchdown, they were all like doing the love signal, the heart signal.
Yeah.
Max, I got 2 things. The first one, just because your jersey comment. I mean, look at fucking me, dude. I got a fucking Fields jersey. Didn't get a Trubisky jersey.
I got it for you, so we're good.
That's true. That was courtesy of Caesars. But like, I got some of them. But um, two, Sam, you got to know the rule. Fourth quarter, it was like 11 minutes left. They're punting to you. If you get a tutty, you're down 14. You go for two. You go for two every single time. That is just that's the statistical.
Yeah, that is like when they went for two there, that
That
is
is
kind of
what
what the
you
new
do.
age thing says to do. I agree.
You get two
I don't
chances.
know. I didn't love it
Yeah.
at the time, but that is like what the
You
math
get two
says.
tries.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it
You
seems like
either
such an
win
uphill
with a
battle.
field goal or yeah. And if you don't get it the second time, then you're just like fuck. But that's what you do, and Matt LaFleur executed it perfectly, and Jordan. So that was a crazy comeback. Mom was at an all-time low, and then she wasn't even like excited. She was almost like shocked that you guys ended up winning. It was kind of funny, but yeah, hats off. Good bounce. Saints defense is actually super fucking good, though.
Agreed.
I'll say that.
Very good. Yeah. I was sitting there and between Marshawn Lattimore and Chris Olave, I'm sitting there yelling to the top of my lungs, is Ohio State really gonna fuck me on a fucking Sunday? Are they really gonna fuck me like this? I just got fucked in the ass like fucking 12 hours ago, and they're gonna come in here and Chris Olave is gonna have 600 yards on the last drive. I mean, thank God Blake Group missed that field goal. I mean, honestly, I don't think we would have been able to do what we did, but yeah, it was.
That Olave snag was nasty too.
Oh, he's ridiculous. He's so good. He is so good. So yeah, props to GB. Big game on Thursday. I guess should we just get into it? I mean, I'll do it real quick. I know it's on Thursday, so I'll just get my thoughts out real quick on that. Plus 1.5 Green Bay, minus 1.5 Detroit. Over under is 46. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I like I think here's what I think. I personally am a little scared right now. I think the Lions looked really good against Atlanta. We barely lost to Atlanta, but they beat the shit out of Atlanta. They handled them pretty well. I don't know what to think about the Lions, if I'll be completely honest, between the Seattle loss and then them looking good against Atlanta, them looking pretty solid and beating Kansas City. I don't really know what to expect. Honestly, I think this game gets more to 3.5 Green Bay, like plus 3.5 Green Bay by the time Sunday rolls around. I think Detroit will get more. I think Green Bay will get some money on their side, and I think, it might change some things. But I think, honestly, I think Detroit is probably like a 2.5, 3.5 point favorite. I like the under 46, but it's hard not to be. It's one of those things where it's almost like I don't want to be too confident going into this game in Detroit. Short rest, tough game. I don't know who's playing, and I'm sure the lines will adjust. So like anyone listening, like just keep in mind that Packers Lions game, if it's probably assuming that a lot of guys are out for Green Bay and whoever's out for Detroit, but don't know if you guys took a look at those lines, but I don't know, man. Like honestly, like from just betting perspective, Detroit minus 1.5 tonight looks good. I just don't. I think 3.5 for Green Bay would be nice, but I don't know, man. I think that game's just going to be weird. Short rest. I don't know. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I'm probably more to enjoy than bet it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I should probably do that too.
Yeah,
That way.
For you, I wouldn't bet, and honestly, I'd probably have to side with the Lions, especially at Detroit.
Oh, at Green Bay.
No, it's at Green Bay.
Oh, I thought you said it was at Detroit.
I don't think so. Maybe I did say that, but that's it's at Green Bay. I guess it helps
things a little bit, but still, Detroit has looked better throughout the season, though it is 3 games. But
yeah, I
mean,
minus
they're
22.
Yeah, I mean they're an overtime away from being 3-0.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I'll
That
say
being
but
said,
I do kind of like the over.
Okay, okay. I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I would probably recommend no one really playing props on this game just because no one knows who the fuck's gonna be healthy. Aaron Jones not playing. AJ Dillon's touchdown will go down from -115 where it is now. You don't know what to expect with Montgomery and Gibbs. St. Brown at +125 is a good play. Maybe Watson at +155. He might not play. So I'd say just watch the injury report and make that decision Thursday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet. All right, let's get on with our bad selves. It'll be good because my one team will get out through the weekend. Hopefully Notre Dame can close out Duke. But let's do it. Let's get into the NFL picks. Let's go favorites. Who wants to start us off? Anyone just feeling so goddamn good about their favorite that they just have to shout it to the mountaintops.
If we're gonna do I think what we did after week 1, do the best, whoever had the best record, which would
Ooh,
be John.
we
Okay.
did say that.
we did say that. Okay,
Like
you're right.
honors of the T box.
Yes. Thank you for reminding Max. All right, Mr. T-Box man. Do it. Do it to us.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah,
You had the best record.
yeah,
of
you
NFL
were-
last week.
yeah.
Of all of it. Oh, yes. All right.
Yeah, because
So,
so
that was, you know,
well,
I was-
technically you and Max tied, and
Yeah.
I pushed.
That's all right.
So
No, I think we were just
I'll
NFL
I'll
for
go. I was, you know, there's a
Sean got
bunker.
the TD prop. Sean got the TD prop. That's what
Exactly.
he
Oh,
won the-
yeah.
There's a
True.
bunker right at like, you know, you got to carry like 200 right there. I'm trying to figure out, should I just lay an iron out there or driver? No, I'll make my pick. I'll get the driver out. I'm gonna go. How good was Miami last week? I mean, that was so goddamn impressive. I was doing all. The YouTube TV like kind of multi-view thing is awesome. Get like the red zone out there, get a couple games. I'm bullish on that. But I have to be bearish on the Dolphins this week. I mean, that was so crazy. I think the defense, you know, probably allows some points here. I think the offense, you know, I think they probably play well, but man, the last few weeks, Buffalo has been looking good. I mean, they shit on Oakland, they shit on the Commanders. You know, this is a game, of course, they would take seriously. It's a division game. I think they want to, you know, get up early on the division in general. But now, after all the hype Miami's getting, you know, I think they're going to want to get in there, and it should be a pretty fun game. But I do think they cover the 3 or maybe 2.5 at what it's at.
I have it at 3.
I have it at 3 written down as well. So
that was also so.
but
I
that
guess-
could be.
No, I looked. I
bet
mean,
that
same
down.
thing. I looked at it at 3:00 and it moved. So,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah, give me
I have to do a little refresh.
the bells.
Yep, I like it. I like it. All right, Max, you had the next best record. Where are you going with your fave?
Did I? Both of them, the 2 best teams in the NFC, and I'm stuck because they're both. Well, one's not too bad. For some reason, I think the Niners are gonna cover -14. Against the Cardinals. I almost couldn't read my handwriting, if I'm gonna be honest. Against the Cardinals, sure, the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, but it's the Cowboys. They lose those games. San Fran is just a fucking solid ass fucking team. CMC is gonna get another tutty to make it his 13th straight game with a tutty. I don't know, dude. San Fran is amazing. That defense, Nick Bosa has the #1 like defensive rating, like player rating through these first 3 weeks. He's been a beast. So I know it's super high, but it's the Cardinals, and Josh Dobbs has looked at solid. He's looked solid, but come
Yeah.
No,
on.
I like that a lot, Max. And honestly, like moving it in as well, like half, it's 49ers -7.5. First quarter, it's -3.5. I think you almost eat up all those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
I mean, shit, if you can do a same game parlay and get all of them, plus money territory. I know they do the halftime full thing, but if you can do like a first quarter, halftime, and full game, that might not be bad. Get you like plus 130 or something. Like, why not? I mean, they're gonna dominate. Yeah, I love that pick. I wrote that down, and then I also have a note next to it, and it's just too much question mark. So I'm glad I'm glad one of us took that because I think it is worth playing. So we'll see where that goes. I also went with a pretty big number. I went with the team who got the shit kicked, or what I'm mostly going against the team that got the shit kicked out of them. And a team that looked pretty decent last night. I'm going with the Eagles covering 8 against Washington. Let me just double check. It's still 8.
Yeah, I got it at 8. Because that was my other one. That's why I said the 2 best teams in the NFC. So I'm glad I picked the Niners.
I was gonna say I was kind of between the two, and then the other third one I had was the Steelers actually at -3 over Houston. I like that a lot. I think that is I will play that line. I will be honest though, just the way Pittsburgh's been this year, I'll probably just play money line when it comes down to it. But the fact that money lines should still be really good odds, maybe even tease that down to like 1.5 just to make sure we get that. But I think that's a Houston kind of like overcorrection. Like I don't think Houston's what they are, and I mean Pittsburgh looked good, but I mean the fact that Houston won, I feel like that would have been like a 4.5, 5.5 had Houston lost to Jacksonville. So I think there is a little extra into that. So I'm going with Philly -8 there, but didn't like it. I'll be honest, I got a lot of dogs written down, not a lot of favorites written down, a lot of unders and dogs this weekend. So underdogs, dogs, give me all the shit. You separate them, combine them. I don't care. So I like the pick so far. Mr. Sean, where are we going at with your doggy dog?
Real quick, just to get back since we were chatting on that game, Stroud hasn't thrown an interception yet. The Steelers do a pretty good job getting their ball or their hands on the ball there. I'm sure it'll probably -150 or something, but I think over 0.5 interceptions for Stroud could be a good play in that. For the dog, it's not crazy dog here, but I didn't really love a lot of the dogs. Probably exactly why they're all where they're at here. But I got to go all the way to Monday night. I've been believing in the Giants. And I am so far off the Giants now. I am a believer of Seattle. I think the way they ran the ball last week, man, if you can just keep doing that, that makes it so much easier for Geno Smith. Love them going into MetLife and getting a nice W there. So it's +1.5. I know it's not much of a dog, but hey,
no, I like it. That is definitely one I had as well. So I like that. That'll be hopefully that continues to be a dog, and we can get that value on Monday night. If not, let's snag that earlier rather than later. So I love it. Max, where are you going with your doggy dog?
Excuse me. Sorry, Sean, but the one and only thing I've written down, and you can see it right here, and it's Dolphins +3.
Got a bar fight.
That's the only one, man. I don't know. I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid. I don't give a shit. They put up 70. You're telling me they're not just gonna absolutely not put up numbers against the fucking Buffalo Bills? Come on. Bills look good. I know they look good, but
Dolphins look great. The Dolphins look great.
I think last year it was like a week 5, week 4 game, where the Bills dropped the game to the Dolphins. So
yeah, that was because the Dolphins smoked them out. It was like 150 degrees on their
come on, pish posh.
I think that
where is this one at? Where is this one at?
It's in Buffalo. I think that was the game where the Bills didn't get like a playoff in time, and the clock hit 0, and the offensive coordinator like lost his shit in that video. I think it was that game.
Yeah.
It was the quarterback from Miami way back in the day, Ken Dorsey.
Yes. Yes. Hell yeah. Good old Ken Dorsey. I actually had his jersey at one point, the Miami one.
I remember it.
Yeah, that was fresh.
That's weird.
I like it. Yeah, I don't remember. That was, I mean, that was right, which was weird because I'm pretty sure our uncle got it for us and he went to Ohio State and it was right around that Miami, Ohio State or Miami. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
there's a national championship between those two.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, all right, well,
Maurice Clarett.
yep, yep. Shout out, shout out. Who was the quarterback for Ohio State in that game?
It was dude,
Oh, was
God.
it
Yeah, yeah.
guy won the Heisman?
Nope, not the Heisman guy.
What was his name again, though?
Troy Smith.
Troy Smith. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's who I was thinking of. So
Ohio State quarterback was.
I think it was number 16, tall, lanky, white dude.
What was the initials?
I think it's CK. It's either CK or CC. I don't know how the last name's spelled.
Hmm.
I know how to
Oh,
spell it.
I think no, Chris. I think Chris Winkie was 16, but that was Florida State. Who
Yeah.
else?
I know. I was thinking Winky too.
Craig, it was Craig Krenzel.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I don't have a lot of memories of Craig Krenzel.
No.
Yeah,
Yep.
Zil-
Okay. I had to double check. I had to make sure I had that right. Yep, it was. Yeah. Craig Krenzel, number 16 for Ohio State. I mean, it didn't matter because the second he got the ball, he was just handing it off to number 13, Maurice Clarett. So it didn't matter. And then they had, was that Ted Ginn time or was that later?
Probably.
God, why are we getting into old Ohio State shit?
What are we doing to ourselves?
What are we doing? This is just self-sabotage. No wonder I just, I like all the crazy, BDSM shit. I just like beating
I'll
myself.
say.
Uh,
Cubbies are up 5-0 in top of the fourth
Hell yeah,
love
Go,
it.
go, go.
and middle of the fourth.
Sweet.
Got up, but
Take it. Take it. Let's keep that up. Let's keep that up. Need it. Need it. So I like both of your dogs. I wrote both of them down. I am also going to kind of go on the same, way of Sean, where it's not the biggest or sexiest underdog, but it's one that I think just after the last couple weeks, I think they're due. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams plus 1.5 against Indianapolis. I don't know if that one has changed.
I think that's the 1.5.
Yep, still 1.5. I think it's going to be an ugly ass game. Don't know what's the deal yet on Cooper Kupp. I imagine he's still out for a couple weeks, but I feel like they've been so close a couple times. They beat who's it, Seattle week 1. So I just don't know. And I loved what Minshew did for the Colts, but he tends to do this where he wins a game he shouldn't. And then, we're all about Minshew mania. And then second game usually drops off.
We've seen this movie before.
Yep, exactly. I love Puka Nacua. I think Kieran Williams, shout out Notre Dame. Like, dude I didn't think after a year or so, I didn't think he was going to really find a niche over there. But he's really he's really found himself in LA. And, I like the defense. I still think they're solid. They held a solid Bengals offense to 19 points last night. So I don't know if it's because I stayed up and watched both those games, but I'm going to stick with Philly and the Rams. And I like what I saw from them. I like Cincy too, but yeah, give me the Rams. It's almost like give me an ugly ass one, and that should be in my favor when it comes to a dog. Because usually the big ones, like I like New England +7 against Dallas a lot, but at the same time, I could see that just getting blown up in my face, and Dallas does like a complete, recorrection there. So tried to stay away from some of those games.
yeah, I hear that.
I got you. I like it.
Sweet. All right. Where are we going with the over club?
Over club. This is assuming that I get a Red Rocket Andy Dalton game and not a Bryce Young game. But I imagine after the way their offense actually looked a little capable last week, they probably put him there and maybe let Bryce Young watch on the sideline a little bit more. So give me over 45 in Minnesota versus Carolina. I mean, Vikings, it's, now or never. We got to go. And then even in losses, they're scoring points. So I'm not too worried about them. Carolina's defense, though, last year's statistic pretty good. They've let up a few points this year. So I think Minnesota gets theirs. And I do, Thielen caught 12 balls. Miles Sanders looked all right. I think when it's kind of run by Dalton, they can score some points there. So give me over 45 in Minnesota, Carolina.
I dig it. I dig it. Max, what are you thinking on your over?
Like I said, I do like that Green Bay Detroit one. Just wanted to reiterate that. But also I'm going to take the most total points of this week, and it's by far. I mean, I think by 5 points. 53.5 Buffalo, Miami. Again, I'm drinking some Kool-Aid, but I mean, dude, come on. Both of these offenses are electric. I mean, I don't see why each of them won't score like 30 or more. Honestly.
No, I mean I wrote down 2 overs and I wrote down Miami, Buffalo, and the other one, but those things where it's not necessarily that Miami and Buffalo are going to play each other tight. It's just the way that they play. They're bound for big plays. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can literally go take a piss and Tyreek Hill had, a 97-yard catch, and all of a sudden they get the ball back and he's got another 35-yard catch, and you're like, I haven't even stopped peeing yet. And maybe that's my problem, but that's a whole nother issue. It's crazy. I mean, they get the ball back and it's like that. I mean, it's Devin Achane, you've got Mostert, Hill, Waddle's gonna come back at some point. I mean, it's a scary fucking offense. And Buffalo is one of those teams where I feel like they play to their level a lot. Like they play down and up to other teams' levels. And I feel like they're gonna be able to put up points against Miami, whether they win or not. I will let you two battle that one out. But yeah, I think overall definitely a lot of points. So I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And for my over, I just did the 2 worst fucking teams in the NFL because they both give up so many goddamn points. It's absurd that it would even if they do suck, it's one of those things that sometimes you get these games like last year. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think it was like a injured Rams. Like I think it was like John Wolford was playing like a non-Kyler Cardinals, and I think they went like a crazy over. I'm trying to think of the game. It was something like that where it was like 2 terrible teams.
Was it the Christmas game where Baker threw for like 400 yards?
That might have been actually that was it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Because I was like, these teams fucking suck. Like I will bet like alternate unders. Like there's no way. And then I've come around to the concept of, shitty teams just score points. It's not necessary. There's shitty defensive teams score points. It's not really anything up to them. Both defenses, 45 or 41 and 70. So I imagine that if they can allow 110 points between the 2 last week, I think they can allow, 46 between the 2 this go round. So not to shit on you too much, Max, but yeah, give me the Denver, Chicago over. Hopefully Justin Fields finds his way. I know it's not like the best game and you might be looking at like, draft pick positions, but this is a very good game for Fields to just kind of get back to his shit and get back to his bag defense, running and throwing the ball around. So I think this is a big momentum game for both of them, and I don't think they're gonna let up. Like this isn't gonna be like a 19-17 game. So give me Denver and Chicago.
Yeah. I just wrote it just in case it came up. Top corner, just Bears, Broncos, crapshoot. So
Yep.
yeah,
For sure.
I don't hate that either. For real.
Like it. Okay, where are we at? We are on the unders. I wrote down a lot, so I'm very intrigued to see what you guys have written down for that. So, Sean,
Under. It took me a while to kind of pick between. So I always do love an AFC North under, so I probably will be playing Baltimore, Cleveland under 41. But I'm going to leave that out there, and I'm going to go to the Lunder, the first game of the day. Unfortunately, it'll be ugly. The poor lads and the fish and chips will have to watch. I think kind of a stinker of two offenses trying to figure out get it together. It's just something about when these two teams play in London. Not a lot of points happen. A game-winning field goal will be how the game ends there. So Atlanta and Jacksonville playing in London, also playing in Toy Story, I believe, on an alternate broadcast.
Yeah, dude. What the hell is
No,
that?
Yeah,
check
what
that
is
out
that?
check that out if you're interested, or maybe if you got the kiddos. I'll take under 43 in Atlanta and Jacksonville, which it could still be like, you know, 20, 23-19. I'm trying to think of a silly score, but yeah, like a 21-20 game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if that. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I think this is a lot. I think a lot of these teams, this is a game where they get down and then don't get 7, they get 3.
Yep. Yep. A lot of field goals. I mean, if
Oh,
you're
I think
in
a
London,
lot of field goals happen in this.
if you're gonna be in London, you might as well get on the footy.
Yeah, you might as well
Yeah.
use that foot.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I won't be watching this game because I got the old bees at 9 o'clock facing the Forest. But Sean, I absolutely love that pick. And I love that pick so much. I'm just gonna have to take it with you.
Well, enjoy. Hey, we get to hug it out and hang out in the morning, and then start fighting at 1 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be good. Yeah, dude, like you said, I mean, the Jaguars offense is kind of in shambles right now, if we're going to be honest. And Atlanta, solid defense from what I've seen, other than the Lions. But and then that offense is still kind of just relying on Bijan, and we know that doesn't really work out. So
Yeah, right. It's kind
good,
of
but we can't just rely on.
pretty one dimensional from Atlanta,
Yeah.
and Jacksonville has no problem getting yards, but man, once they get down inside the red zone, they just can't get 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I mean, you look at well, what is Jacksonville averaging? Like they came out pretty good on week 1, nothing crazy, but then they get 9 against Kansas City without Chris Jones, right? Or was Chris Jones
Yeah,
back?
without Chris Jones. Yep.
Without Chris Jones, and then they go and they play. I mean, they shit the bed last week against the Texans. I'm trying to pull it up. Sorry.
Told you they don't cover at home. And I know this isn't a home game, but technically it is because
Yeah.
all those guys are rooting for them. So they
Um,
ain't cover at home.
is Jacksonville playing back-to-back London games? Are they
I
just chilling?
believe they are.
Yeah, they're playing the Bills at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Next week.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
literally going to be there. Yeah, Wembley and Tottenham. They're going to be back-to-back weeks. So I'm assuming they're just out there chilling. Very good information going forward for next week because they might be just tired of fish and chips. Their stomachs might be hurt. They might need some yummy foodie from America, and they're not going to be able to get it. They're going to be hydrated. They're going to have to drink shit water. Their teeth are going to get all fucked up. And yeah.
Oh, I would say vice versa, dude. They're going to be acclimated already while the Jets come over for only a week.
Fair point. Fair point. Who's the-
Bills next week.
Oh,
The-
sorry. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah,
Either
that's a
way.
fair point.
Either way, though, like maybe not a win, but a cover. So future talk, but yeah, what you got for your under, Sam?
I've got both teams were, I mean, I think combined they scored 28 points between the two this weekend. They both stink. I don't know what the quarterback situation is for one until we get more info. So not going to overthink it. Sean, I really like the Baltimore Cleveland. That was my second one. But I'm going Tampa Bay, New Orleans under 40.5. I mean, I think that's pretty similar to the Packers game, if I'll be honest with you. Like, I think it's going to be like a 19-17, 20-17, 20-13, something very low scoring. I could not tell you who's going to win that game. I will not play the side on that. I think both are so bad. I'm just not gonna touch it. But yeah, under 40.5 in that one.
Yeah.
So
Like,
what
yeah. No, I mean, Tampa Bay's offense has done what they needed. Like Baker and their offense, I heard it last night where Baker's interception to Blankenship was their first turnover all year. So that's pretty big. But I think you're right. I think Baker's probably going to sit at like a 219 yards with only like a one passing and probably interception. It's just going to be very low scoring. So I love that. And then
yeah.
you got Jameis who kind of didn't know what he
Yeah.
was doing last week.
And even with Derek Carr, like I still think like I mean, I think with Derek Carr, it's 23-17. New Orleans still under 40.5, just barely. But
Alvin's back though. He tweeted Alvin's back.
that is gonna be big. So they have someone to hand the ball off to, but
Yeah.
I mean, both team. I mean,
Yeah, no, but I love it. Either way, whatever. I think Carr's probably got like a broken collarbone or something. To be
yeah, it
honest.
didn't look good for him. Didn't look terrible, but definitely didn't look like he was gonna be back this week. So
Yeah.
yep, yep. All right. So what we've got here, since it's Tuesday night, we're recording. Wednesday is when it's coming out. Some odds that we don't necessarily have just yet. Prop touchdown that we normally have. Um, we will definitely post those once we get numbers. But is there any like I know prop is a little tougher because we don't know where the numbers are at, but any touchdown parlays, any props that you are already, you're kind of like, let me see where XYZ number comes out, and I'm already kind of all over that. Is there anything that you guys have top of mind?
I do. I do. I mentioned earlier the Seattle run game has looked pretty strong this year, especially in the back-to-back weeks. Of course, they got a couple guys, Charbonnet, the new one, UCLA, but I'm looking at a lot of Kenneth Walker props against Giants, who are one of the worst rush defenses in the league. Nothing like when you go on the road, just kind of running the ball and kind of get settled in there, not having to throw it, get a pick and get the home team crowd into it. So I'm looking at probably some, Kenneth Walker. If attempts is like 15.5, I'll probably take over there. If yards is like, 55 or something, I'll probably take over there. So looking at some Kenneth Walker props for touchdown, I'm looking for, sneaky Zach Moss. Who would have thought that he's kind of, everything happened with Jonathan Taylor, and so like what the hell are the Colts going to be doing here? And Zach Moss has been quite a bright spot there. We talked about I don't Minshew. It's sometimes they get the win, but it's not really because of his statistics. I think they ride Moss again. I think of course they get themselves down in the red zone or on the goal line at least once or twice, and I do like a Zach Moss touchdown. And I don't see him being like minus 110 or anything. I would bet that's still probably going to be like plus 130 or something, but we'll see. So those are the what I'm monitoring the next few days in the prop section.
I like it. I like it. And of course, if anything comes up, we will let you guys know. We'll make sure we get that out to you as soon as we make those decisions, lock those in. I love the Kenneth Walker. I was looking at some projections. He looks like he could definitely get himself a touchdown. So I know you're talking other props, but I might piggyback on that anytime Tud at some point.
I didn't pick up for touchdowns, so
Yep. So I like that a lot. Max, where are you thinking? What's kind of piqued your interest from the prop TD parlay perspective?
First thing for the prop, for some reason, just looking at that Baltimore and Cleveland matchup and just what that Cleveland defense can do, and you're gonna be like, well, then why are you about to say this? Lamar Jackson rushing yards. I think that he's gonna have to escape a little more often, and he can absolutely escape a pocket. I think it's gonna be collapsing a little more, and sure, he might get sacked a couple times, like 2, 3, but I think once he escapes, he's gonna get like 10 yards probably per escape. I don't for some reason, and then maybe they might just kind of rely on that run too, some good old read options and shit. But I think his legs are kind of gonna be crucial in this game. And I'm gonna assume it's probably like 55 and a half or some shit.
I was gonna say exactly that.
So I like that. I think he could easily get like 70, 75. So I like that. Tutty, don't know so much. A little hesitant on some things, but I'm just gonna throw one out there. I think a good old Chris Olave. I think he can get that.
He doesn't have a touchdown yet this year and has so many catches. So
Exactly.
yeah.
He is due. And that's like some of it. Sometimes it's like, where's like the dude that has been balling who, yeah, he's got all the stats. I mean, but where's he at with that? So
Yeah,
he's a dude.
Max, I love your reasoning on the Lamar Jackson because as long as he just slips through, there's like that no one in that second level there,
Yeah.
and you might need is just three 15-yard runs for him to kind of get right up to. And remind me again, I think NFL is where the sack doesn't count against your rushing yards, right?
Right. So
yeah.
if only if
So,
it was
who cares if he gets sacked?
yeah, unless it was like a designed run, that's like a read option
like
and
that
shit.
if you had the
But
intent to run, but
yeah. No, yeah, exactly. So I love that. Hoping it's around 55 and a half. I'm hoping less, but we'll see where it goes. But I'm pretty stern on that.
No, I like that a lot. I'm gonna go with just basically I'm gonna go with what Max has said and both of you have said already. I'm just gonna take the prop side of it instead of the sides. I don't really give a shit what the number is. I'd say maybe 299 and a half would be the number I would not maybe take that. I probably still will take the over. Give me Tua Tagovailoa's over passing yards. I don't give a fuck what it's at. I mean, realistically, it's probably, if I had to guess, I bet it'd be at like right around 292, maybe.
I think it's gonna be like 275.
Oh, brother. If it's 275, I am taking some crazy props. I hope that's the case. I think 275. I mean, if we're thinking about realistic passing props, like Patrick Mahomes in his game against Chicago was still like 284, I think is what his over under was. And I feel like that was a pretty good over. So yeah, I like Tua a lot. I think the way the Buffalo Miami game's gonna go, Tua might have to throw a lot. So give me pretty much, I mean, unless it's 299, unless it's 300.5, then give me the over. I still think he hits the 300. Actually, I'd say like 320. Maybe don't
Just fucking take it. It's
yeah,
not gonna be set at 3 fucking 20.
yeah. So I'll just do 300 plus.
It's gonna be below 295.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'll
not
plug that
gonna be.
in. It'll be
No,
like it'll be like 289 or like 292 or something at most. So give me the passing.
320.
He might, dude. He fucking might.
He might, but that's not what Vegas is gonna set it at.
Yeah, it won't be. You'll be good.
I guess I'm just smarter than Vegas. I'm not. My bank account shows it, so well, I'm not gonna front there. Shoot, when I was looking at touchdowns, I had a couple people in mind, and as I'm looking at it, I don't like it as much. I'm looking at some numbers here, and this is more just gauging. I have Taysom Hill very high probability for a touchdown, and so I'm
We haven't
really,
got a taste. Have we got a Taysom Hill touchdown yet?
I don't think we have, and
Might have had one.
maybe one. I feel like that game, since I have the under in
Maybe.
that game, it's so ugly. So like, yeah, I'll pull up Taysom Hill's stats.
Might have been a passing one. I saw
No rushing and no passing touchdowns yet.
Yeah.
So
It's weird because I don't know if he's gonna, maybe it's a rushing. I'm trying to like get the numbers for Taysom Hill from my projection site, and I guess I guess I just did it wrong, but um yeah, that's weird because I have him very high. I mean, he's got a good chance at a rushing touchdown. Receiving he won't get, but not gonna go that route. I am going to go for touchdown. I'm gonna go with kind of just kind of some chalk, but I feel like he's also due, and it's been ugly to watch this team play. But my boy Mike Cudahy, I know he's listening. He's one of our few loyal listeners, and I know he'd like to hear this. He's a big old Titans fan, and I think Derrick Henry is due for a tud. I really hope that his odds aren't so astronomically kind of not worth it, right? Because usually we try and stick within the minus 140 realm, but I feel like he really hasn't had a lot going on this year. And I feel like after last week going only 20 yards on 11 carries against the Browns, I feel like he's going to run mad. And so, honestly, if we're talking the last 3 to 5 years, we probably haven't had a Derrick Henry touchdown prop as valuable as it is going to be this week.
Will be this week.
Yep. So give me Derrick Henry. I know it's a little chalky. You guys gave I mean Olave and Moss definitely not as chalky as me. So I thank you for pulling the weight there. So hopefully Henry can make that parlay. We'll get that parlay out there. Any
Nah.
other anything else NFL, any takes, oh, you know what, I got something to say. And then Sean, we got to get into the Ryder Cup. I know I totally fucked that. I meant to bring that up early on the Ryder Cup, worth talking about. But so if I write a letter to the Green Bay Packers that I think I could be the starting place kicker, and I gave them 4 to 5 reasons and a 2-page letter to the owner of the Green Bay Packers, aka everyone else, do you think that realistically I'm going to get an opportunity there? Or are we just, should I just write a letter to Ted Thompson and fucking Mark Murphy and Michael or Matt LaFleur? Should I just write them that I can kick a 50-yard field goal and that I should be able to get a tryout? Or is this whole Kaepernick shit just, am I the only one that's annoyed right now? Like, so what? You wrote a letter to the owner. I write a letter to the CEO of a company trying to get a job. You don't see me posting that shit and getting an opportunity. So I had to get that out. That like had me fuming before this pod. And I was so mad to see that. And I like Cap. I have nothing against Cap. But like, brother, like, what are we doing? Like, you wrote the letter. Everyone knows you wrote the letter. Why do you have to post the letter? Like, I guess it's supposed to help you, but like, why don't we write a letter and say that between the three of us, we can kick extra points better than 90% of college kickers? Like what is that shit? Like, what is that?
I didn't even see that he like shared what the letter said.
Yeah, so that's a more recent.
I'm not really too interested in all of those.
That's fair. I'm just fired.
I've got my fill of that was.
I mean, Kaepernick.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Sam. It's it's kind of silly. It's like, I mean,
slight bias because Kaepernick beat us in that NFC championship game to go to the Super Bowl. I think it was against the Chiefs. Was that the one that Kaepernick was in? Or was that the
Ravens?
Oh, the Ravens one. Good call. Yep, that was the Ravens one. Good call. That was like 2012. Yeah. And I think I'm still a little just pissed off about that, but at the same time, dude, man, hasn't been relevant in like three years, and I hope he gets a chance, but I don't think that like writing. It's like the people on LinkedIn. I don't even know if I should get into this, but it's like the people on LinkedIn who are like, "Hey, I really want to do this. Like, let me just throw this out there," and like, bro, like, yeah, shoot your shot, but like, you don't need to be telling everyone about it because then it's almost like that. Now Joe Douglas is going to be like, all right, I guess we have to give him a tryout because now everyone's yelling at us. Wilson sucks. And like, yeah, he sucks, but like, I don't know. I just, I'm just, that just shit fucking pissed me off. So I had to say that. Sorry. It was a tangent I had to get out of my system. Otherwise, I wasn't going to sleep well tonight. So you can just call this segment Old Man Sam and his grandpa takes. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Anything else, NFL?
Nope.
All right, Sean, if you can give us a spark notes on Ryder Cup, what we need to know. We know it's in Italy and we know it's USA versus everybody else in the world, or specifically Europe, but honestly, it's for
Yeah, specifically Europe. So no, like Australia, no Korea, no Asia. There, things to know. U.S. has not won on it's every other year. So think about a year difference every time they play there. So if it's been 20 years, it's been essentially 10 Ryder Cups. U.S. has not won on European soil for almost 2 decades. USA won the last Ryder Cup, but Europe has won 5 of the last 7. So, and honestly, kind of get into the data golf here, get into the nerd analytics. The European team is probably playing better golf as it is right now. I mean, I think, you can make the case. Victor Hovland, McIlroy, and John Rahm are all playing better than any one American. Maybe Scotty Scheffler, but some of the parts, the USA team is certainly a better full team than the European team is. They're much deeper. I mean, the course is really tough. The rough is super thick. It's long. It's going to favor driver. Just out in front, I think Europe does win this. If you want to get that plus 115 right now, you can go ahead and do so. I love the way they're playing right now. I think they got some absolute dogs there. But when you look into some of it's hard to kind of you can take props right now like top team score because there's a lot of events. Like first day there'll be kind of 2 versus 2 and they'll do like alternate shot, then it's more of like a best ball after. The best is Sunday morning, or it'll be Sunday afternoon for them. For us it'll be like Sunday morning right up till kickoff of NFL to win it all. That's 1 versus 12, just match play. That's the most fun there, and it usually comes right down to the end. I would bet Wyndham Clark in a lot of props. I think he's going to get a lot of favorable matchups just because there'll be a lot of names in front of him, but I think he'll get matched up against Europe. He'll do pretty well. Of course, under European props, you got to go to top European rookie, Ludwig, to hoover the most points there at plus 165. So I think they ride Ludwig Aberg pretty heavily here for being not only a rookie in terms of just like a tour player, but his first Ryder Cup as well there. But I mean, should be pretty good. I think Europe probably wins this by maybe 1.5 or 2 there. So if you want to look at any of the spreads, I mean, how about any questions that you guys have, because it is certainly a lot different than your normal tour event.
So can you I don't know if you're able to do it, but so you kind of went through each day is a little different. Is there kind of like themes with the days, or is it just I guess that I feel like that would be the biggest overall question, but I think
I should be able to find that real quick. On the last day is always just the individual match play. So day 1 is so essentially it'll be kind of like the morning is an alternate shot, and so it's 2v2 the day 1 and in day 2. So you have a partner in the morning. Essentially, you go out and you're playing like an alternate shot, and then the afternoon it's more of like a best ball type of situation. And so you're sending out, I believe it's 4 teams, so 8 guys will kind of play in each of those sessions, and there's a morning session and an afternoon session, and then day 3 is all singles. All 12 guys on each team play, and it's kind of fun to kind of see how it pairs up. There's almost a little bit of like home and away, where and I'd have to find out a little bit. I believe it's not always Europe. It might just be off who kind of won the last session, but like Europe will kind of get the last play. So they'll know what USA's, foursome they put out there. If they want to, if they want to essentially take a loss on one to put out against a couple pairings against what they think are stronger against maybe USA's weaker guys.
Okay. And then, okay, I like that. All right.
Yeah,
Sweet.
bummer is that things will kind of get going around 1:30 a.m. Eastern most days, but the afternoon session of each Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be about from 6 a.m. to probably around 1 p.m. Our time. So some good coffee golf for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I mean, Sean, I would love to say coffee golf, but we're nearing tailgate season, or we're already in tailgate season, so might as well just make a day out of it. So yeah, maybe not 6 a.m., but yeah, get you a couple extra bevies before the 1 p.m. NFL nooners on Saturday. So I like that.
So the tournament's there's 28 points to get. So you can even look at like spreads, for instance, as well. Like if you think kind of Europe wins like 17.5 to 14 and a half there, like Europe -3 is plus 275. Of course, if you like want to ride USA, I want USA to win. I'll be cheering for USA. I'm just trying to put out some winning bets.
Yeah, no, I respect that. We're podcasting for fun. We also are here to make some money. So I like that. Any thoughts on, so I'm looking at day 1 and day 2 winners. So you got day winner props on DK if you're looking at it. I know they probably don't have like the foursomes and who's on who.
No, because that will literally come out like a half hour before the actual tee time.
Okay. So it's essentially the same odds for day 1 and day 2. Do you think it's worth, I know you're talking Europe kind of overall, but is there a day that I know depends on groupings, but is there maybe one of those 2 days? Do you think maybe like
I think day 1 I would lead Europe just because there's a lot of pressure on the US team. There's a lot of pressure on kind of which guys to start because there's the names, there's the boys club that's the guys that have been playing forever, but are they the ones playing the best golf right now that you want out there? I don't know. Zach Johnson will kind of have a tough choice where I think Europe, it's a pretty clear, like our top 8 and then, kind of the bottom 4 there. So
any live PGA tension that we expect? Any drama? I mean, we know
live
is there.
Live essentially Europe didn't allow any European players just because there's the big fraction between the DP World Tour, which is of course the European based like PGA Tour. Yeah. So they have no Sergio, they have no live guys on the team there. And where US does have Brooks there, but this is Brooks now third or fourth Ryder Cup. So and Brooks, unlike a Bryson or stuff, he made it pretty clear, like, I took the bag. I don't know if he's best friends with these guys, but I don't think they hit, he didn't try to kind of make it personal like some of the other live guys did.
Fair.
I don't expect that to be an issue.
Can you explain what the point system means? So just for the sake of the example, I'm looking at a player X to win 5 points. Brooks is plus 3,500. I imagine 5 is a lot based on the odds, but could you break down the point system from an individual? Like what would Brooks get? That I guess would that be if he wins best, if he wins the alternate 2, he gets 1 point. If he wins best ball, he gets another point. It's kind of like you'd have to pretty much win every single day to get 5 points, right?
Exactly, because he could win 2 on the first, 2 on the second, and only maximum of 1 on the third.
Okay, so
theoretically, could theoretically get, it'll be tough to do. What does it say the odds are?
3,500 for Brooks. Just for reference, the like lowest odds for anyone in the Ryder Cup for winning 5 points is Rory at plus 2,500. and Scheffler at 2,500.
I could see. Oh yeah, they don't have anything between like Big Bob McIntyre plus 275 to get 0 points.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's by far the weakest link there.
yeah. Well, and that was the other thing too, is I was like, all right, so how hard is it to win 5, and then like how easy is it to not win a single point?
Well, it's not so much to win 0 because, there's a chance. Some of the guys might only play, in one actual event outside of the Sunday singles matches.
So like McIntyre could potentially only
Like
play
McIntyre could just go 0 for 2. And
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, that's good. See, this is why we have a little Q&A sesh, because I don't really know what's going on, and God forbid I bet what I don't know, aka Korean baseball organization. But we do what we do. Oh, I like this. So like top Europe point scorer.
Yeah, like those where or is that European props?
Yep,
Or
yep.
top English point scorer. Oh, they only have
They have European.
but they don't have they don't have like Victor listed there or Rom listed there.
They do. Which one? Go to European props, top Europe point scorer.
Oh, I had top English score. I'm silly goose. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe a Fleetwood. What about a
I was
Fleetwood?
just saying. I mean, we've been Tommy guys, so
And Hovland has been on fire.
low key, like not like top. I mean, Matt Fitzpatrick too. I think will play a bunch there. Definitely take Ludwig for the rookie pick.
Mm.
But that's also pretty. It's only plus 165.
Did we get
Because
into
I just think technically he's going to get way more chances than like Sepp McIntyre and Nikolai Hogard will get.
Yeah. Do you think so? Based on what you're saying for top USA rookie, you like Wyndham Clark at plus 260, or okay over Matt Soma?
Let me see the top USA rookie. I mean, so like Homa will I think be put in a lot of tough. Like I think Homa's going to go up against some dogs, and that's kind of the double-edged sword for him of being a good player. He's shown. I mean, he did really well in the President's Cup, so I think he'll get to play in some big dick matches here. So I kind of like Wyndham Clark. I think Sam Burns is a little bit of a fake. I think I don't know if he's going to be a great pick for us there. I don't know how much they'll play Brian Harman, but there's certainly some money there.
And then so just
but I'm bullish on Wyndham Clark.
Okay, I like that. Top USA captain's pick, Brooks Koepka at plus 275.
Yeah.
I'm a big
he certainly will get him and Jordan will get the most opportunities likely from that list there. Spieth hasn't been playing too well to end the year, but Spieth has historically, especially in the last 4 Ryder Cups, been one of our better, if not best, Ryder Cup player, maybe outside of Dustin Johnson.
Okay.
Certainly no DJ this time.
And then like if we're talking top point scorer, is it definitely Scotty Scheffler or is it?
I mean, honestly, the Cantlay Schauffele foursome is take that a lot. They have a really good winning percentage together. I think even a better winning percentage than the Spieth and who am I trying to think? Spieth and Alabama boy. JT, sorry. Yeah. So I don't hate a Cantlay getting the most points because I think they're going to do pretty well in the double events there, and then if he could just win his singles match against like a Teo Hatton or something, hoover up another point.
Okay, I like
but,
that.
I mean, Scotty, of course, is still one of the best players in the world.
I like that a lot. Race to 5 points. Europe is plus 105. I don't hate that based on what you've been saying. My Europe to lead first minus 105. I don't hate that either. I'm just kind of looking through what's the difference between tournament winner and to lift the trophy? Because the odds are different, but
because essentially, remember, each team could get 14 points, like you could tie 14 all, but on it's weird how that because
Like,
if
would it
you
go to overtime or?
no, if it ties, correct if I'm wrong, I believe the away team wins. They get like the half point for being away. Like this is what happened in the Soldier Bowl.
A little aggregate EPL, little Champions League.
There's I'd have to do a little bit more digging on that, but
Okay.
I believe that's why the USA is minus 140 because if it ties in points, they technically get to lift the trophy.
Okay. That makes more sense because I was like, it like tournament winner or lift the trophy. I understand it from like soccer, like, EPL or whatever to advance, but I mean, that didn't make any sense to me. So
No,
So-
I that's the
so
sole
that's why US is minus 140. So if they tie 14-14, US essentially wins.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, and then tournament spread. I know you might already hash that out, but like Europe, like -3 or Europe -2 is great plus money.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
I don't mind the Europe -2.
okay, I like it.
Because again, what will like happen is if Europe's up and has one more match, like is up more than there's matches left, they'll just stop it. So
Oh,
it
okay,
doesn't matter if like Brian Harman, beats Bobby McIntyre, like that match just won't even count.
okay, okay.
Just-
Good to know. Oh, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
man. So it'll be some good tailgating watching.
100%, 100%. A little coffee and some Baileys, a little coffee Kahlua, whatever
Yeah.
your fancy is. I like it. I like it. Max, any questions from you, my guy? I feel like I asked them all, but I literally went
I
past
just-
the 10.
Max,
So-
which player do you want to do the best?
I'm gonna stick with the good name, Mr. Max Homa.
I like it. I like it.
I think you'll play well.
And I'll
I
go
think
Sam
you get a lot of
Burns.
opportunities too.
Yeah.
Yeah, mullet man, Sam Burns. If Sam Burns ends up getting the most points out of the US team based off what Sean said and my name, I'll get a mullet to match. How about that?
And I will open up
Oh,
the next show.
Ooh. I like it. Okay, sweet. Now, that is a very good because I feel much better than I did looking at the odds. I had no idea what the fuck I was looking at. So, Sean, you're the man. Thank you
Yeah,
for
man.
that.
Of course, there's some. I'll get a little bit more information. Try to make it simple for like us first graders and send to you.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, the color palette, like red and orange equal this and blue and red and all that. So, if you can give me
That
some
stuff's, that
that'll-
stuff's harder than that.
I yes. Oh, the math ain't math at this point. So, all right. I love it. I love it. Anything else we want to talk about? I am looking at a Villa Brighton matchup on Saturday, 7:30 a.m. I'm supposed to golf at 9:30, so I will be like at the clubhouse early watching the second half on my phone, like an old
yeah, we'll
geezer.
definitely have it on. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Well, it's the only live sports on TV other than, you know what? You're right. They're going to have the Ryder Cup. Why would they not have the Ryder Cup at a golf club? Yeah, that was stupid. Doi. Let's see. Just to read out our teams, Max, you already touched on Brentford, so I'll get to you in a sec, but Arsenal -195 against Bournemouth.
Well, Arsenal plays Brentford tomorrow. And how about this, Sam? I got a question.
Yeah.
What is the Caribou Cup?
Oh, the Carabao Cup. That's not the same thing as the FA Cup, right? Is that the other cup?
Yeah, it's like just another English cup that it's definitely not as serious, but I mean it's cool.
There was another name for it.
Well, I hope we play Emil Smith Rowe tomorrow against Brentford. I want to see him. I need to
Oh,
see
you
his
play
potential.
David Raya. Oh,
So
we're on
FA
David.
Cup, FA Cup and Carabao Cup are different. The FA
Oh, yeah.
Cup has always been the FA Cup. I know that sounds like a dumb thing to say, but it's always been kind of you start the clubs all the way very, very down low. The Carabao Cup is the second oldest domestic competition in England. It changes its name after each sponsorship deal. It's gone through Coca-Cola, Capital One, Worthington, Rumbelows, Carling, and Littlewoods. You know who is the inaugural winners of the Carabao Cup or the EFL Cup? Aston Villa, 1960. Non-league teams are involved. So there are no what a non-league team would be like your, you know how they can have like those little like neighborhoods, like they'll have like
Yeah.
the whole
Like what
story.
they have in FA.
Yep, exactly. So it's basically League Two, League One, Championship, and Premier League, and that's it. Whereas the FA Cup has like way more leagues than the other ones. 14 rounds for the FA Cup, 7 for the Carabao Cup. So that's what that is.
We'll get a big dub tomorrow. I'm not worried.
Winner. So what is let me soccer odds. What are the odds there?
Probably Arsenal like minus 220.
Oh, Villa's playing Everton tomorrow. Jesus. Dude, Arsenal is plus 115.
Yeah, I imagine they're. I mean, because we have a champions. I mean, we had a Premier League match this Saturday against Bournemouth, and then a Champions League match on Tuesday after. So I think you're getting a lot of the like the B squad tomorrow.
There.
Good for Brentford. I mean, shit, plus 235. Might be worth it.
Could be.
Could be worth a sprinkle. Villa's playing Everton, so we'll see. Villa's minus 135. Honestly, I thought they actually got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but I'm realizing that was a different it was the FA Cup, and I think they got knocked out by like Man U or some shit already. So whatever. But yeah, EPL looks good. We got plenty of footy on. We've got the Ryder Cup, we've got college football, we've got NFL. I mean, this is really kind of the creme de la creme if we're talking from a gambler's perspective. I mean, we got NHL coming up. I mean, I know I don't want to like put another 30 minutes on the pod, but I'm excited for both of you to get in your NHL
we'll
bag.
dig into that more in a future one.
Yep, exactly. So we'll do some previews, and once that stuff gets underway, obviously going to want to watch Mr. Connor Bedard. So looking forward to that. Need to get jersey. I'm deciding between Connor Bedard or Jordan Love. So I'll give it a couple more weeks and see where we go. Yeah, it is sacrilegious to like both of them, but we're not getting into that. But yeah, all right. It's getting late. It's Tuesday. We all gotta go to work tomorrow. We gotta keep this shit moving. So unless you guys have anything else to say, let's get our butts to bed. Let's have ourselves a good week. And once we look at the lines when it comes to the props and TDs, we'll post that before the weekend starts. But once those come out, that'll be a day or two. Otherwise, get on our lines because they're changing. They will change by the time the morning comes. They'll change Thursday with the Packers, and this is just the best time of the year. I mean, I could sit here for 6 hours a day and just do this podcast. That's how much I love this goddamn time of year. So appreciate you guys sitting on, listening to me ramble while you guys are nice and concise. But let's have ourselves a good day, have ourselves a good week, and let's get after it. Let's win some money.
Go Cubs, go.
Yes. Swear to God, I was literally just about to say go Cubs go. So yes, echo what Sean says. Go Cubs go. Let's get the dub. Let's raise that W. And well, my fingers are all fucked up, but that's beside the point. Love you guys. Thanks for everyone for listening. Let's do it.
Peace.
Love you.